All right, welcome to coverage of the Sunday Super Series. Marshall Sutcliffe in the booth with Randy Bueller. It's round 3. We're in basically the finals of this first draft. This is the draft pod,
Absolutely.
2-0s going at it.
There are 39 players, so it's basically 5 pods. One of them had one 7-round pod and 4 8s. And now we're going to find out who's going to win these pods.
That's a great start here for Tanga, by the way. Hero of Eros, that's the rare, the 2/2 bear that gets bigger with heroic and also causes your auras to cost 1 less to cast. Wow, and he follows up with a Phalanx Leader. Jeez. No plays yet for Chi.
Deck.
He has nothing.
I think you can see how Tanga got to be 2-0.
And that's the new Eidolon, so that's just, it's a little bit cheaper here. It's going to give +1/+2 to Phalanx Leader, but that's also going to let him get a counter on this, let him get a counter on that.
Everything's cheaper.
Wow.
Smash. Wow.
So this is getting overwhelming very quickly. It looks like Chi's kept a slow hand. Yeah, no play for turn 3 at all, and he needs to get the shields up and quickly.
Yes. So Tanga is Chinese. He's from Beijing, qualified for this event at Grand Prix Hong Kong.
Okay.
So that was where his Sunday Super Series success came. Chi Hoi Yim is from Birmingham, Alabama. He actually made the top 25 at Pro Tour Dragon's Maze.
Top 25?
Top 25
wow,
at Pro
very
Tour.
solid finish.
Absolutely. And I can figure out where he qualified for this. Indianapolis.
Okay.
So
All right.
Grand Prix Indy.
So he finds a Wave Crash Triton.
He's also had success on the SCG Legacy circuit.
Okay. So Wave Crash Triton could be good, but for now, it looks like he's just going to take some more thumpins here. And I mean, this is just super scary, right? I mean, Tanga has 3 cards in hand and any number of combat tricks available to him. So Chi's like, but I can't take the 3. I can't just take it on the chin. And it looks like Divine Verdict might hit that Wave Crash Triton here potentially.
Bye-bye.
It does. In the meantime, he's going to take 3 damage anyway, dropping him down to 9.
Always feels a little schizophrenic when your aggro deck is destroying a blocker with all of its mana.
Yeah.
But Divine Verdict's just, the ability to kill a creature is so good.
Yeah, you just need it.
Yeah.
It's not ideal, but you just need it.
Yep.
All right, here's 5 mana for Chi. So he needs to come up with something. It's a blocker. It's a blocker. Yeah, Coastline Chimera will block. Okay, so stemming the bleeding a little bit.
Not exactly stabilizing.
No. And he's going to take 3 damage anyway, dropping him down to 6. And here's a big turn for Tant. Nothing.
Oh, just a bunch of
All right, has he ran out of gas here? Because now,
sitting on 6 lands.
Yeah, Chi can start. I mean, he's got a bunch of cards in his hand. 5 mana, 6 mana. Every turn counts so huge here because he is so up against it.
Yeah, almost any relevant play from Gao probably would have pushed it over the edge.
And he's thinking about what he wants to do very carefully, as he well should. One misstep at this particular point in the game, and it could easily cost him the entire game. So he really needs to make sure that he has his plan completely worked out, and you can see it's stressful. I mean, he's got his hand on his head. He's really grinding it out. He's just going to say go. I think he has a Grip Tide. Now, this is a little bit risky because he can Grip Tide on his turn, and if his opponent has God's Willing, then he can work around it a little. Now, if his opponent has God's Willing, it means that he can't block. But it looks like he's going to take the risk, and he can just block first, of course. So there's Grip Tide to put Phalanx Leader right back on top of the library, drop that Eidolon off, and mean that he takes nothing for the turn. So pretty nice for him. Ooh, that's a keepsake Gorgon, though.
Jeez.
Man, the hits keep coming for Tanga.
Wow.
And a drop step here for
just
Chi.
now drew the second swamp, by the way. Keepsake Gorgon's been in his hand for a couple of turns, but the swamp came off the top this turn.
Okay.
So he's actually out of cards. Like, he's got nothing left in his hand.
Okay, and that was right in time, too, because
Phalanx
he's
Leader
going to
is
be
now
drawing.
gumming up the top of his library.
That's right.
Yeah, he can already go monstrous on the Keepsake Gorgon.
Yeah, and right now, the Phalanx Leader, he doesn't even need to bother with it. He can just go monstrous and attack.
Yep.
And it would be lethal. So Chi, again, up against it, needs to find a way out here. Sip of Hemlock would be pretty sweet here. It would mean he likely only takes 1 damage next turn. Doesn't have it, though. He's got all blue cards in hand. He only has 2 islands, so that could be crimping his development here a little bit.
It really makes it hard to cast more than 2 blue cards.
Wow, tapping out for 6. So he's going to play something big here, or maybe 2 somethings. Thassa's Emissary. So he wants to have 1 huge blocker, and what this means is it kind of forces Tanga to use his keepsake Gorgon at some point here. For now, he can just attack. You saw Tanga kind of pump fake towards his lands. I mean, Chi knows exactly, what Tan has in hand. There's no tricks available here.
And forces him to play blockers. Oh, there's
Oh, he has a Gray Merchant
hidden.
He did have 1 card left. Yep.
He had 1 card left in his hand. That second swamp really was just in time.
It was. It
second
really
swamp
was.
turned on both Keepsake Gorgon and Grave Merchant. What happened in this draft? What did the people around him take?
No kidding.
We saw Grave Merchant. We saw
these
Keepsake
packs were
Gorgon. We
insane.
saw Phalanx Leader. That's 3 Theros first picks.
Right.
Right. We saw the rare out of Born of the Gods.
Yes. Hero of Eros. That's a first pick. Yeah. I talked to Adam Prozac when he was in the booth just last round, and he said he was looking at some of the tables before he came in here, and he said he saw some really crazy good decks. He said the packs must have just been stacked.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, these guys were across the table from each other, so they didn't really interact during the draft.
You guys can take a look at how to qualify for the Super Sunday Series Championship, which is what you're watching right now. First step is, go to a Grand Prix. I don't have to sell you on that one. And then you got to compete in the Super Sunday Series event. That's on the Sunday.
There's like step 1.5, which is fail to make day 2.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the super
Go to
secret.
a Grand Prix. Don't win the Grand Prix.
Right.
Don't make
I know there
day
are
2.
some pros that really wanted to come this weekend that they just failed the step 1.5.
Yeah, they did.
Kept making day 2, never got to play a qualifier.
Now, of course, you got to win the event. The winner of the event gets the qualification seat that these players are playing in right now. So you do get prizes and such. It is a regular tournament. Most of them are sealed. They also will sometimes have
it's 2 flights per day.
format.
There's both.
I think that they're not always like that.
They're almost always like that.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I mean, last year there were a couple tournaments that worked slightly differently.
Oh, okay. I see. I thought that they were mainly sealed, and then sometimes they had that.
No, the way they're
sense.
synced up. I mean, there might be like 1 outlier Grand Prix. I mean,
no, I thought it was the other way.
They're supposed to be synced up now, and the way they're all supposed to work is that there is both a sealed flight and a standard flight. So you can choose to play one or the other. And actually, I remember it's funny in Vancouver, you could they're staggered starts by like an hour.
Oh yeah.
So like you could play 1 round and then drop, or in that case,
the sealed.
Yeah, like you could play.
Be like,
sealed.
oh my deck's lame.
You probably only have time for the deck build.
Like
this deck's terrible. Drop. Sign up for the standard. And then the way it worked is that the top 4 from each of those events met at an 8-person final table, and they drafted for the seat.
They drafted for the final seat there. And then, look, if you win, you get flown out here to Seattle. We're currently just south of Seattle in Renton, where Wizards of the Coast headquarters is, and you get to compete in the tournament you're watching today. It's going to be 40-ish players for 2013. Number of players who are here is 39. Sometimes there's some issues with
the
getting here.
qualification number was 44, 45.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but life gets in the way. Sometimes you can't make it out, which is a shame because obviously this is a really cool event.
Indeed.
You see Makihito Mahara behind Chi there. He's on the top 25 pro rankings, looking to make a run at.
No, top 25 at the Pro Tour. Chiho Yim.
Oh, I was talking about Mahara.
Oh, Mahara.
Yeah,
sure. Sorry.
Yep, no problem. All right, we're underway here. Chi's down a game, but
that's a good card.
That's a good start. Shipwreck Singer to start off turn 2 here. Could really wreck things for Tan here.
Particularly good against the sort of aggressive white deck that has showed us a lot of 1-toughness creatures.
That's right.
That at least started at 1-toughness. No turn 2 play from Tangao.
Yeah, I mean, could have been blanked.
Chiho Yim describes himself as a grinder. Very competitive player. He lists his favorite card as Jace the Mind Sculptor.
Wow, look at this guy.
Yeah, super I am Spike, hear me roar.
No kidding. He's wearing a blue shirt. I mean, this guy is... All right, Last Breath is going to take down Shipwreck Singer, though.
That works out for Tangao.
It does.
So Yim from Birmingham, Alabama, qualified at Grand Prix Indianapolis. And there's just the international flavor of this tournament still. I don't know that I was expecting that coming in, but you know,
I don't know either. But 20
Beijing,
countries.
China, yeah, 20 different countries amongst the 39 players. Including
Jeez, Wingsteed Rider now for Tanga. His deck is insane.
Yeah, his deck's awesome. It's essentially black, white, heroic, and rares.
Yeah.
It's a fine archetype if you can get it.
Would play, yes.
His mana is a little, like, he's double in both colors. He's maybe, I mean, I guess it's not like you're going to decline Keepsake Guardian Grey Merchant because you've got double white early drops.
That's right. Now, Chi decides to use his turn by activating his return phalanx to get in there for 3 and then playing a Deepwater Hypnotist. Which...
It's the 2/1 inspired guy, right?
Yeah.
When he untaps, you get somebody -3, -0.
Correct. Not the best
beater.
card, but not bad, yeah. All right, and here we go. This is
Wingsteed Rider. Perhaps you've seen this in Theros.
Yeah, this is where things get kind of ugly, potentially. That's a Nyxborn Shieldmate, but of course, it's going to pump up the Wingsteed Rider by a point as well.
And he chose to leave it on defense?
He did.
That surprises me. I mean, I guess
that's
he
interesting.
Can't really race because he's down. The last breath means he's actually 8 life down already. And it would be a 5 for 4 trade this turn, so he just declines.
Yeah, and Coastline Chimera joins the team for Chi.
Also, playing defense means he doesn't let the Inspired turn on for whatever that's worth.
True. All right, so Tangao, now he's going to take a look at the board and play 5 mana.
Also, given the
here.
bombs in his deck, when in doubt, I think you choose not to raise damage. You choose to like make the game go longer.
Yeah, you're probably right. What is that? What did he just play?
I'm going to guess it's Born of the God cards from the fact that she's reaching over to read it.
It is indeed. He played 2 cards, actually. He played
Cavalry Pegasus.
Cavalry Pegasus, yeah.
It's a creature. It's black. I have no idea.
It costs 2 and a black, right? I'm going to find it. Is that an Ashiok's Adept? Is that the 1/3? That has heroic, and when you target it, opponents discard a card? I don't think it is. I think that is a Servant of Timeret. Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay.
So it's got Inspired. Whenever it becomes untapped, each opponent loses a life, and you gain life. You gain that much life.
And it's the Regenerator.
And it pays 2. You can pay 2 and a black to regenerate it. It's a 1/3. Interesting little card. And it looks like Tan's fine playing the control route here. He has an Elmer in his hand there, too. He's still 2 mana away from getting the bestow cost. I think that was a Scholar of Athreos that he drew there. And that could go a long way, too. This is interesting. You know, his deck looked so aggressive in the first game, but he really has the ability to grind.
Yeah, no, I think he drew Phalanx Leader and the hero.
Yeah, and then we see Wingsteed Rider, and I'm like, okay, I get it. You know, but it looks a little different now.
No, it's a little more control-y.
Yeah. Yeah, he has Heliod's Emissary in his hand as well. So if he wants to turn the tides in kind of a quick fashion, he's a couple mana away from doing that, but he can. And there's Keepsake right off the top as well. And like I said, I mean, now he's just in grind you out mode. Here comes Keepsake Oregon. Does it resolve is the question. As we see that Chi has not missed a land drop and has way too many lands. He does find a Griptide here, which can be interesting. He can Griptide in response to the Keepsake Oregon at some point and make its ability not work. Battle mode with the Keepsake Oregon.
Death Touch, 2/5, good enough.
So you go down to 22, and there's Hero of Eros again. Jeez. And he's just going to say go. I mean, his deck is amazing. He's also left 3 mana up so that he can either regenerate or use a Scholar. Things are looking pretty good here for Tan, though. He still needs to finish off, and we're you know, Chihoi's at 22, so this game isn't over by any stretch. Prescient Chimera here for Chihoi, and we're gonna drain you for 1. So back down to 21. Tan's at 17, in a pretty stable board position here as well. And there's a land, so that's gonna get him 1 closer. What 6 drop is he paying?
He can pay 7 for the bestow because it's cheaper because of the hero.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah, the bestowing that
Yeah.
auras are one cheaper. It definitely says you play it as an aura spell.
Absolutely. You can absolutely do that. Yeah.
Yeah,
normally it's 6 and a white, but it's down to 5 mana
white.
total here.
And so he's going to look to put it on Wingsteed Rider.
Because that can now blast right through that coastline
1, 2,
chimera.
3, 4, 5. It's like an 8 power Wingsteed Rider now.
It is 8
I
power.
think it's an 8/9.
And also it taps down something when it attacks. So that thing is a force to be reckoned with. He's going to tap down the Prescient Chimera. Also attack with Keepsake Organ.
Sure. I mean, there's no profitable block for Chi.
I mean, Chi, if he was really worried, could put the return phalanx.
He can trade 2 creatures for it.
He can.
Here's Griptide.
This is Griptide. So Griptide, Wingsteed Rider, put that back on top. Both of the bestow creatures fall off, separate from each other. He gets a scry trigger from his Prescient Chimera. He's going to put that back on the bottom, though.
And Keepsake Organ keeps chipping away.
Yeah, well, you know, Chi said, I'm thinking. You know, he might be really worried, but I mean, look at Tan's board.
Yeah. I mean, and he's got a good draw phase.
He's got 7 creatures on board, and he's got a Wingsteed Rider incoming too. I mean,
and 2 cards left in his hand.
And 2 cards.
Yeah, okay.
All right,
he is going to take the 2-for-1 trade with Keepsake. I guess that makes sense. Otherwise, you're going to lose something to the monstrous ability.
Yes.
And then still have to deal with with the Death Touch guy.
That's right. I mean, look, he's not happy about it,
right.
but it's what he's got to do.
But I mean, I think Tan gets to save his mana, right? He doesn't have the 7th land in his hand. It's not on top of his library because there's a Wingsteed Rider in the way.
Good.
So, and he clears a path where the fact that he has 6 creatures in play.
Plus Heliod's Emissary.
Right.
So I mean,
which is Heliod's Emissary.
Yeah, exactly. So
now he can start getting in with everybody else. So.
Right.
It's weird. I think both players are happy with that trade somehow.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah.
Well, it seems like one of them should be wrong.
Yeah.
I have no idea which one of them it is.
Is this Sip of Hemlock? What is this? What are you paying 6 mana for, Mr. Yim? Sip.
Yeah, Emissary. Gotta be.
Emissary down.
His only chance to block. Right now he's looking at, okay, now I have a 1/5 and a 3/4. I have 2 flying largish blockers. Seems like the right target.
Yeah. So this time though, he got a scry trigger off of the Prescient Chimera. He kept it on top. It's got to be something pretty sweet.
Sure.
To keep on top at this point. I mean, there's a pretty narrow band of cards that really matter for him. But it does look like he's managed to stabilize this board pretty nicely here. I mean, as it sits, Tan doesn't really have any attacks next turn. And that's pretty impressive, because his board state is insane.
It's true. I mean,
Cheese
his
flooded
backup
a bit.
plan is Scholar. I mean, he can Scholar twice a turn.
He can.
Take a while, but that'll get there eventually.
That will definitely get there. That gives him the inevitability that he would like. In this turn, he can play Wingsteed Rider and still have mana up to Scholar.
Looks like that's the play. Yeah, Wingsteed go.
Should probably tap your mana. There we go. And just passes the turn back. And here's a Harpy. All right, so this is going to help swing that life race.
Can he attack with it?
Right now.
Right now it's a trade for Wingsteed.
Yeah, right now it's a trade for Wingsteed.
But you get blown out by any trick.
Yes.
Land number 7.
Oh man, March of the Returned. What is he getting back? Keepsake Organ and Heliod's Emissary. Oh my goodness.
Geez.
This is what it's like to play against Rashad, by the way. This is what he does all the time.
Yeah, Harpy goes in. Tan is not interested in trading Wingsteed for it.
That is so nasty.
He's a lot more interested. He is? Wow.
I mean, I guess he just figures he has the long game.
I guess.
Completely
Isn't that
locked
your best Heliod's Emissary target?
Probably, yeah.
I mean, I guess trading and suiting up anybody is good.
He can put it on the hero, which still gets the +1/+1 counter that the Wingsteed Rider would have gotten. Yeah. So it's size-wise, it ends up being the same.
5 power guy.
Right.
All right.
6 power. Right? Yeah. But he's actually going to put it on Cavalry Pegasus. Nullify. All right, so that gets countered. So that's, again, she is fighting here, man. This guy is not giving up, and he's flooding about as hard as you can. He's got 2 more lands in his hand. He's already got, what, 9 on the table? can see him do the cursory read my island go.
Okay. Oh, was last turn keepsake Gorgon?
Oh, was it?
Emissary last turn.
Oh, me too. Wow. I actually thought I saw him do that, but it must not have been.
He drew his second Heliod's Emissary?
I was pretty sure that it was the Emissary. I mean, we saw...
That's Nullifier, right?
Mm-hmm. But it counters a creature
or enchantment.
Or enchantment, and it was an enchantment.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take 5.
All right. So Chi's going to take 5. We're going to double check that real quick because that was weird. He drew his other one. All right.
Jeez.
Chi must be just
How many
groaning
first
over
picks
there.
does he have?
No kidding.
I mean, that's one of the best white cards you can get. Right?
Yes,
I mean,
it is.
Phalanx Leader's better, but
it is.
You know what? They're friends.
They are very close friends. All right, there's a land for Chi, and it looks like he's found a spell, though I can't quite see which one it is. He needs something.
I mean, Chi has played well.
He has played very well.
He's played well. His deck looks decent.
Just the fact that he's still alive and not just getting bum rushed here is
But
pretty
it just
good.
feels like he's been on his back foot for every turn of
Every
both
turn,
games.
yeah.
Like at no point has he been in.
No.
He hasn't even managed to stalemate a board yet.
No. Another land for Tanga. He's up a game here. This is to win his pod, and it is time. Battle with the whole team. Swing everybody sideways, get a block, take a ton of damage. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage, I think. Keepsake Oregon resolves.
Wow.
Is that a read the bones?
I mean, it's Scholar mana.
I mean, that's...
Oh, for Chi. Yeah, I mean...
Read the bones, I guess, is
not cast
kind of what you want here. I mean,
Yeah.
he's got infinite lands. He can do multiple things.
You can put a land on the bottom.
He find a land
dissolve
or a Curse of the Swine or something? I mean, if it's a dissolve, it's going to the bottom.
Right.
He is going to keep one, though. So
wasn't
probably wasn't dissolve. Maybe it's a Fate Foretold? Yeah, that's what it is. I guess he figures the tempo loss is better here.
Got enough lands that he can just draw the card this way and be up the rest of the Fate Foretold.
Puts it on a Chimera, which is the least likely to die, but it's also the most likely to be left untapped.
Right.
And he finds a Guardians of Meletus. So he's attempting to stabilize, but I think that the combination of Keepsake Gorgon plus Scholar of Athreos is going to be
5
enough.
other creatures in
Plus,
play.
yeah, plus a monstrous
One of which has an emissary
army
attached to it. Wow, super impressive.
Yeah, Tangao's deck
Tanga
was
drafted
insane.
a beautiful deck.
He certainly did.
Everybody in the room would have been delighted to draft this deck.
No kidding.
Yeah, I'm just going to tap.
All right. Whoa.
Yeah. Turn them all
Is this the
sideways.
No Math Alpha? It looks like it. Battle. Tap that. You figure it out.
Yeah.
You're at 6.
You're at 6. I can activate Scholar twice.
Yeah.
I have a million. Yeah, there's the
And
hand.
that's going to do it. So Tangao is our winner, and he improves to 3-0.
He does.
And, I mean, we're talking about 9 rounds of Swiss for this tournament, Randy.
That's a good
A
start.
3-0 is a big deal.